What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Second channel. You guys already know the main purpose of this channel is just kind of to have some raw, unfiltered content, no edits. This is literally all one take. So yeah, basically I'm coming up on 1 year into business. Tomorrow marks 1 year into business. You know, it's been a pretty good journey so far, honestly. I've learned a lot, not just about myself, but about, business in general. I'm coming on here to share just my story a little bit, what I've learned, stuff like that. And yeah, I didn't really come up with the script for this. I'm kind of just going off the top. But first of all, obviously I'm 16 years old. 1 year into business is almost little to no experience. So don't take what I say too serious. But I have a pretty good outlook. I'm young. It's my first year, so I'm just gonna tell you everything I do know so far. But yeah, so starting off 1 year ago, I didn't have a business. Obviously, tomorrow marks 1 year into business. What I started with was reselling. So today is October 8th, 2025. Going back to obviously October 9th, 2024 is when I actually started. But if you take it back to July 2024, sometime in July, is actually when I bought my first one-to-one AirPods. I started off with a couple AirPods. A lot of people have the same story, but I started off with a couple AirPods. I think I sold one to my friend or something like that, or I think I started with like 1 to 3, no more than 3. I kept one pair. I actually still use that pair. That isn't even the top quality of AirPods that I sell now, but it means a lot to me. So I kind of just still use it. They still work, bro. So they're actually good quality. But yeah, I think I sold 1 or 2 to my friend. Didn't take it too serious. I was like, all right, yeah, this is cool, whatever. And how I even came about getting a vendor, reselling, literally just saw some stuff online, did a couple minutes of research, found a supplier that was good enough at the time, for me. Bought some AirPods. It was pretty straightforward. No one really told me, exactly what to do. Now some people have people, chirping in their, oh, you got to do this, buy this off this person. No one told me what to do. I just, got curious. I was like, all right, I see people making money off this thing. Why can't I? If someone can do it, why can't I? That's kind of the mentality starting it off. But yeah, I was like, all right, whatever. Made maybe $50 off the top. I honestly don't remember off the top. I didn't really look at the numbers before this, to be honest, but sold maybe 1 or 2 AirPods, obviously kept one. And then I was like, all right, whatever. October, I don't know what hit me that time. I think I just saw more videos online. I was like, dude, people are making all this money. Why can't I? That's really all it comes down to. Why not me? If someone can do it, why can't I? So this time I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a proper shot this time. I remember I bought more AirPods. Not sure if it was off the same, supplier or whatever. Honestly, don't remember, even if it was only a year ago. But, bought some AirPods, started selling those. Obviously it was a little bit slow to begin with, but started picking up, started doing research on it. Obviously the first month I didn't make that much money. Once again, I didn't review the numbers before this, honestly. I'm just gonna keep it honest on here. But the first month of October, obviously made under $1,000. I didn't make much money, but at the time I've never made money, like a few $100s here and there. That was pretty good money. Like honestly, coming from someone who's never had a business, never, tried selling anything before, I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then did it for about a month, and then I was like, all right, hold on. I'm seeing more content online. I'm starting to learn, what this is about. Let me start doing some more research. So I remember, I think it was around November. I remember it was before kind of Christmas time, the holiday season. I started doing a lot more research. I remember in class, there's 2 types of people in school that are like not doing work, chilling on their phone. Some people can be like, all right, you're just swiping away. Me, I was not just swiping it. I was researching, bro. Some people consume content, but if you ask them the next day, what's one thing you learned from watching all the video? They can't, say one thing, which is pretty crazy. So I was consuming content, but I was learning a lot. I was learning what to sell, where to sell it, how to sell it, what to do in certain situations. I was just really learning the game. And yeah, I remember I invested in a few new products, tried them out. Obviously, some didn't work. That's just part of the business game. But it was holiday season, started selling them more, and yeah, honestly, obviously, I haven't made it too far, only a year, but one thing that is kind of my main point of this video is, when you're in business, especially a business like, reselling, for example, that's kind of where I, started, obviously. It's so easy to chase the number. Obviously, you're probably saying, oh, why'd you get in the business? Obviously, I had the curiosity about these one-to-one products, but obviously the money factor, I see people making money. I wanted to make money, just like you see someone making money, why I want to make some money too, why can't I do this? So obviously, but you know, if you're always chasing the money number, you know, you can get in a little rabbit hole. I'm gonna keep it honest. You know, obviously, I'm striving for certain number money goals. You know, I'm not gonna share those on here personally, but I remember I finished 2024 with literally a couple $1,000s made. Not even I didn't even have that much. I just made it. You know, obviously, you know, the profit margins. Not sure what they were back at the time, but made a little bit of money. And then I remember setting a pretty large goal for this year, 2025. And honestly, I'm still working for it. I haven't hit it yet. You know, we should be able to hit it if I, you know, still, you know, keep the foot on the gas and do the right things. But, you know, it is easy to chase the number. And, you know, like when you're in the grind period, you know, what's it called, the grind mindset, it is easy to get behind, start chase this number. But, you know, you got to fall in love with the process. Sometimes you got to take a step back and be, hey, you know, why am I chasing this number so bad? What do I really want? Because, you know, it's an endless chase. You know, you're like, once you make 1,000, you'll be happy. Once you make 10,000, you know, once you make 20, 30, etc., you'll be happy, whatever, fulfilled. You know, that's not always the case. You know, you got to really fall in love with the game. And yeah, one thing, like, honestly, that I learned and that I started to enjoy, you know, after, you know, scaling this thing and like doing this a lot more, is it's not just about, you know, you can have a sale, sell it to them, but if they come back to you, if they buy more, or, you know, you're meeting so many people. You know, I've met like probably well over 500 people, you know, in person doing this thing. Maybe even more, honestly, I haven't counted up. I remember in the beginning of summer, it was around 300. So yeah, we're probably maybe 600, 700. I honestly don't know. Summer this year, obviously, but it's all about the connections you make, you know, and I've learned new businesses, new hustles, just from talking to all these other people. And that's honestly my favorite part, you know, of the business right now, of the in-person, you know, aspect of it. You know, when you get to meet people, you got to learn more about them. And like, coming from me too, like, that's pretty, like, you know, it's true to me that I'm saying that, because like coming up, or like, I mean, growing up, like I'm a shy kid, bro. Like, I was introverted, you know, never really wanted to speak to anyone if I didn't really seek any interest. And you know that's still how it goes sometimes, to this day. That's how I am. But like, this thing like make me grow a lot. I'm still not the best at speaking. You know, I have another business that is you know, more in person now that I'm trying to branch into. You know, it's gonna put you in some uncomfortable situations, but like, sales and having a good speaking ability is so important, you know, in business. If you can sell something to someone that doesn't even want it, you know, you're in for a good one right there, my boy. I'm not gonna lie. So, you know, always keep the speaking skills. That's one thing I like about meeting a lot of people in person. The online aspect is cool. You know, obviously I actually do not have a website. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. I do not have a website, you know. Obviously I've shipped products before. I've been in the summer, I was shipping, I think at its peak. I think it was towards the end of the summer. Yeah, you guys have there's some vlogs on my main channel, me shipping out orders. I still do it now. Honestly, it's slowed down. I'm just keeping it honest. Like I said, that's what this channel is about. I mean, I always am honest, but like this channel, just keep it pretty transparent. Yeah, it's slowed down, definitely. I know I've done probably 5 maybe in the last like a week or 2. Yeah, probably 2 weeks, 5. It's on like this last couple weeks it picked up a little bit, but before, you know, in person is kind of where I'm at still, which is not ideal. Obviously, you know, I want to get this thing online eventually, but where we're at right now, that's what it is. We're still doing all the little meetups, and you know, you got to have the hunger in you. Some people, you know, you either have it or you don't. You know, that grind, you know, that entrepreneur mindset. I remember there was some times when I started reselling. I would be on my pedal bike. I didn't have a license at the time. I didn't have a fast bike. I remember I would bike to one side in town, kind of near my house, sell it. I remember, I think it was all AirPods. This one day I remember so well. And then I remember it was also nighttime, on a school day. I bike, I think it was like 20 minutes, but I got there and like around half the time I was biking so hard, sweating. Sold another pair of AirPods to someone from Facebook, biked back to where I was, and sold another one just in time. Literally like 3 meetups all across town within an hour. Yeah, like well within an hour too. Like, I don't know. Like, I still do little meetups. Like, sometimes like if I see a little chair on the road, I'm still gonna pick it up, go sell it for $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, whatever it is. You gotta always have that hunger. So many people are like, all right, I'm at this stage now. I don't have to do these little things. But one of my favorite quotes, and honestly, like, good motto, like life motto that I have, is like, every day is day one. You got to treat every day, you know, like it's the first day. And I'm still obviously new into business, so I have to have that mindset if I want to see long-term success. You know, you got to do the things that got you into the position that you are right now. And, you know, always stay consistent. That's really what consistency is, you know, doing what you got, what got you to this position every day. So yeah, that's important. Obviously, I know I just kind of jumped ahead a little bit. Last year, finished up the year, a few $1,000s. This year set a pretty big goal, still working towards it. Obviously, I'll do probably maybe a recap at the end of the year. But right now, you know, it's the Q4, a couple more months. I don't even know how many days are left in the year. Is it like what? I don't know. It's under 90, under 80 maybe. So you really got to like foot on the gas, bro. Like this is the final stretch. And, you know, I'm excited. You know, I've enjoyed the business journey. You learn, like, it's more of a mental battle. Like, mentally, you're gonna be put in situations. You're gonna be put in so many uncomfortable situations and have to pull through. And, you know, sometimes you don't pull through. You know, there's times, you know, I've been robbed twice, or like robbed really once, fake bills twice. Been put through some pretty rough experience. I remember some guy smashed stuff in front of my face. You know, like threw a cologne at my shoe before. You know, not good experiences, but like once again, you can't like have regrets. Or I'm just checking back to my bike still there, but you can't have regrets or whatever. You know, every single thing that has happened to you is gonna make you it's gonna make the person who you are today. Yeah, I butchered that, but whatever. You know, whatever happened to you or has happened to you, can't get so rough. Oh, this happened, blah blah blah. It's gonna make you a better person in the end. So, you know, live life to the fullest, no regrets. You just gotta have that mindset. And yeah, this year, obviously, been working, trying to get more stuff online. Social media has been a crucial part. Obviously, I've been pretty consistent on my main YouTube channel for the last, I believe, 5 months. I think we're at 4 months for sure, though. You know, weekly videos, and I'm trying to get a little better at those. The views right now are, you know, down. Been posting shorts every day. But I've been enjoying it. This content thing is good. I like the second channel because, you know, with the TikToks, the Instagram, the short form content, you're always trying to cram like so much information in a little amount of time. Here, I get to kind of just relax, unwind, and, you know, just speak to the camera. There's no cuts. There's no music in the background. And I'm chilling in nature right now. It's honestly good for my mental. So, like I said in the last video, not sure how consistent I'm going to be on this channel, but I'm going to try around a week. Don't hold me to that, though. You know, there's going to be days where I probably miss an upload. But I'm trying to be consistent on here. I actually love doing this, though. I wasn't sure how it would feel making videos. Obviously, there's little to no viewers, but it's good for me mentally coming on here, talking to the camera. And then even if I see this video in another year, you know, another year into business, or even half a year, I'm going to be like, wow, why was I saying this thing? Or like, oh, I learned a lot since this moment. So it's good to, you know, have these videos, and whether they're online, public or not, it's definitely good for you a lot. And I think that's kind of where we're going to wrap up the video today. Thank you guys for watching. You know, obviously, if someone made it to the end of this video, shout out to you. Drop a comment down below if you made it to the end of this video, because, you know, if someone can listen to me for 13 minutes straight, you know, that's really where you build a deeper, you know, viewer connection. So thank you, and drop a subscribe. Make sure you check out my main channel. That's kind of where the main priority is at. And yeah, hope everyone has an amazing day. Go outside a little bit. Let's go. Have a good day, guys.